Hi everybody, welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel. My name's Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. And have the top brass at Newcastle United finally given an indication of where they are swaying towards either refurbishing St James's Park or a new super stadium? It looks like the latter, guys. After last night's fan interaction at the Stack, it looks like they've finally made their decision, although it hasn't been confirmed 100%. But from what was said last night, it looks like that is what they prefer for many, many reasons. So we'll take a look at that. Brad Miller was the one that spoke the most. Obviously, Darren Eales as well had a lot to say. But Brad Miller's been brought in to oversee this, whether it be the expansion of St James's Park or whether it be a new super stadium. And the way the word super stadium, it gets me excited because we know it's not just going to be a football stadium around the Newcastle area. It's going to be hotels, restaurants, all that type of thing, bars. It's going to be a full-on multi-purpose area, and it's going to be fantastic. And you know what? It looks like the Newcastle United fans have swayed in the direction of a new stadium because they understand the revenues that it will bring in. It wouldn't have to be just football. We can use the stadium in the summer or for special events. So there's so much that can be used for a new multi-purpose mega stadium. Now, the talk is around 80,000 seater stadium. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, me growing up as a kid, going into the old St James's Park, I could never ever see us having an 80,000 seater stadium. But by God, it is starting to look that way. Brad Miller last night said that it will double the revenue of the club. A new stadium would simply double the revenue. Now, whatever the revenue is at Newcastle United right now, to double that would be simply incredible. And you could say that, without a shadow of a doubt, a new stadium would be perfect, especially with all the revenue restrictions on the club at the moment, like FFP and etc. and all this other PSR bullshit as well. We can cope with that by doubling the revenue. It makes perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. He also said that we can earn more on match days, but also more on non-match days, which is again indicating that we would probably bring in, special events. We spoke about them on the show last night. You could look at boxing events, WWE events, pop concerts, all sorts to bring into this new system that Newcastle United would have. And it would bring massive, massive revenue, not just to the club, but to the area. And I think that's what the PIF are looking at as well. They said at the start they were looking to invest in the area as well, not just the football club. And this could create thousands of jobs for people to come in and just change the scope of Newcastle completely. They want a best-in-class stadium. So when you're talking about, the Saudis included in this, they're already, in the process of building a stadium over there that is going to be a superstructure. We've seen pictures on social media of how it's going to end up or what it's going to look like. And it's a superstructure. That's all I can think about it. It's just magnificent. And if they're involved in the building of this one over here, it's going to be best in class. It's going to be one of the top stadiums, if not in just this country, but in the world. And, we are so proud to have these guys with us now, just focusing 100% on Newcastle United's future and securing their financial future as well. This isn't just for the now. This is for many, 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 many years to come, securing the club's future. I think it's fantastic. I'm right behind the idea of a new stadium. I know it's a wrench leaving St James's Park, don't get me wrong. I've grown up with St James's Park. I've seen it expand to what it is now, from when we had a tiny little Leazer's End, etc., and a little wooden Milburn stand. It's all changing, and it's grown. The club is grown, and unfortunately for St James's Park, I think we've outgrew it. The restrictions that are there now that we can't get past, obviously we know about the East Stand and the listed buildings behind that. It is very difficult for anybody to try and do anything with the restrictions that are in place. Now, the major question is, I think to every Newcastle United fan, is where would this stadium be built? Who are Newcastle United talking to right now to push this through? Have they been speaking in the last few months with the council regarding Leazer's Park? Have they, got other sites in their, in their grasp? I don't know. We don't know. And maybe that will come out more early next year when this announcement is supposed to be made about what they're going to finally do. But for me, it's extremely exciting, I have to say. Growing up as a Newcastle United fan, seeing the club grow over the years. Yes, the elusive trophy is still not there. However, we are in a point in time now where this club can go from strength to strength and be an absolute beast in the football world. And the revenue that we can generate through this stadium, it'll just take us to another level. So you can see why they are sort of indicating that a new stadium is certainly the way they're going. Now, he did say, even if St James's Park is revamped, it will be a win-win situation. And I think he's talking about us as fans and the club in general. Whatever they decide to do or avenue to go down is going to be a win-win situation. It is only going to benefit the football club, whether that's an expansion of St James's Park, because he mentioned we've already got 52,000 seats in there. So to get to, 80, a lot of work is to be done. We know the restrictions. But a new stadium, let's be honest, a new stadium, if it's built the right way, if it's built for football first and foremost, you have to build it for football, not for athletics or any other events. It has to be the football stadium comes first. And what I mean by that is making sure that the fans have a football stadium to be proud of, not sitting way back with a running track and all this garbage. No. We don't want that. We just don't. We want a state-of-the-art football stadium where the fans are on top of the players and it creates the atmosphere, because we do not want to lose the atmosphere. We've seen it at certain new grounds that have been built over time that the atmosphere is just certainly not the same. You ask West Ham fans, is the atmosphere the same at the London Stadium that it was at Upton Park? Absolutely not. It's completely different. So we have to make sure, and I'm pretty positive these guys already know that, the liaison with fans on a consistent basis. And I think, when Brad Miller asked for a show of hands about a new stadium, etc. last night, his comments were wow afterwards, because I think the majority of fans are now starting to look at a new stadium and get excited over a new stadium. It'll be devastating to leave St James's Park, absolutely devastating after the memories that we've had there. Certainly for us, older generation of fans, I guess, who've been there as kids and seen the expansion of St James's Park. But it's another step in the right direction. So for me, I'm all behind it. It's very positive that came out last night. Brad Miller certainly seems like a guy that's got his head screwed on, knows exactly what he wants. And of course, he's always got Darren Eales there to liaise with as well, who built that fabulous stadium in Atlanta. Let's not forget. I know he's stepping down from his role and concentrating on the illness and hopefully making a full recovery from that. But I'm sure he'll be there to liaise with over time as well. So it's very exciting. It's we need the announcement though. We need to know what the plans are. Where is the area they're going to build? Because at the moment, Newcastle City Centre, that's not happening. There's just no space. So it's going to be slightly outside of the city centre, I would imagine. But who knows? Your guess is as good as mine as to what the plans are, but it is exciting, guys. It really is. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you all for a new 80,000-seater super stadium, or are you still one of those that wants to revamp St James's Park? For obvious reasons, it's, very much people's hearts are tied to that stadium. So let me know what you think. Now, news on a transfer front. Obviously, I think everybody knows that Newcastle United are interested in Bryan and Mbeumo at Brentford. Eddie Howe's a very big fan. He plays the game the right way for Eddie. He backtracks, he works hard. He can also score a lot of goals. Now, it's been said this morning that we could offer Callum Wilson in a sort of exchange plus cash deal. For me, this is a no-brainer. I don't know where Callum is on this, but for me, this is a deal that really I would be looking at. Including a player in the package would be a real pull for Brentford, because if Wilson's fit by January, they can get him going again for the latter part of the season, and they'll have a brilliant Premier League striker. Let's not, Callum is a great striker. Whether we think he can do it or not, he's still confident he can, and, Brentford may get the best out of him. Just tell him to stay in the penalty area and we'll provide crosses for you. But what has been said is that the price tag, even if Wilson was included in the deal, the price tag would still be around £50 million for Mbeumo. It's a lot of money, but this this guy is still young enough. He's still hungry. He's a great player and can do a lot of good things for Newcastle United. Without a doubt improving that right-hand side. No doubt in my mind. So, I mean, Liverpool are interested as well because apparently they'll be looking for a replacement for Mo Salah. He's still, as it stands, he's still leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. There's nothing there to say he's going to sign a new deal. That may all change in the new year, of course. However, at the moment, Liverpool are keeping tabs on Mbeumo for obvious reasons. Look, he's had a fabulous start of the season. A lot of clubs will be alerted to his possible availability. Brentford, I think, are going to struggle to hold on to him because I think Mbeumo himself, you know, when these big teams come in, he will want to move because he will want to try and further his career. That's only natural, and you can't blame him for that. He's been a good servant to Brentford. But he's on form this season and playing really well. And I think the use of Wilson for me is just to kind of sweeten the deal a little bit, just to try and get Brentford's ears pricked up and think, well, yeah, 50 million quid and we're getting Callum Wilson. That's not a bad deal. I mean, whether it goes from 50 million upwards, I don't know. It depends what Brentford want for him. But it's certainly to keep an eye on once January window opens. Now, finally, we've been a little bit pissed off as Newcastle United fans with regards to pundits and journalists, etc., trying to basically disrespect Newcastle United about certain players leaving, thinking they can go on to better things at other clubs. We've had it with Bruno, we've had it with Isak, and it seems now we're getting it with Sven Botman. This is a weird one for me because Jose Font, the former Southampton defender, has apparently come out and said in an interview that Botman himself would be the perfect player to replace Van Dijk at Liverpool. Now, this is even though Botman's been missing for 9 months, he said he'd be basically as soon as he's fit, he thinks Botman should jump ship and move to Liverpool. How disrespecting is that? I mean, it beggars belief, some of these pundits and football players that come out and say that, oh, yeah, Newcastle United have done everything possible to help Sven Botman get back from his ACL injury, and Botman's going to turn around at the end of it, once he's fit, he's going to jump ship to Liverpool. Don't be so damn stupid. And you know what? It really bugs me, right? Because Newcastle United are so many times disrespected in the media and the press, and even by footballers who think that, you know, Newcastle United is just this stepping stone to greater things for players. And again, just like Font saying here, disrespecting Newcastle United by saying as soon as Botman's fit, he should just jump ship and go and sign for Liverpool, despite everything Newcastle United have done for him to get him back to full fitness. By putting him on strict fitness regimes, getting him all the help he needs, surgeries, etc. But no, sod that. As soon as he's fit, Botman is apparently supposed to turn around to Newcastle and say, I'm off. Thanks very much for getting us fit again, but I'm off to Liverpool. Don't be so stupid. Botman, for one, is not that kind of player. Botman is not that kind of man. If you read anybody who has had anything to do with Sven Botman in recent years, have said about his actual persona himself, he is a gentleman, and he is a very, very good footballer, and he's our very, very good footballer. And he has already stated, I've seen many social media things this morning from Newcastle United about Sven Botman and his journey back to fitness. Right? So he's going nowhere. So Jose Font, you may as well put that out, that you think he should jump ship to Liverpool. But quite frankly, you're a damn disgrace, disrespecting my football club by thinking that one of our players would just spend time getting fit and then jump ship to Liverpool as soon as he can kick a ball again. Don't be so feckin' stupid. Pathetic comment, and just leave our football club out of it. Liverpool, I'm sure, will find a Van Dijk replacement somewhere along the line, but it's not going to be Sven Botman. He is going to be a future captain in Newcastle United, in my opinion. Again, it's just coming out in the press, all this bullshit negativity about Newcastle players and going to other clubs. Newcastle are going to be a direct rival for Liverpool very, very soon. Very soon. So why are we going to chop off our very best elite players when that's the level that we want to be at? It doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, Jose Font should keep his gob shut, in my opinion. But there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, as usual, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. And make sure you hit that bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. If you're watching this on Thursday afternoon, don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight, we've got a transfer show for you. Some very surprising names, I believe, will be in there tonight that have been linked with Newcastle United. So once again, we're not saying they're going to sign. We're just saying they're linked in the press, and we'll see, look at the stats and see what they would actually bring to the squad should they ever sign for Newcastle United. So that's at 7 o'clock tonight. But in the meantime, guys, have a wonderful Thursday afternoon, and we will see you very soon. Take care.